In 2021, I hit six figures, over $100,000 gross revenue selling on Poshmark and eBay, working part-time hours, y'all. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 3 tips that were really key in making this happen for me. And they're things that you can implement whether you want to be a 6-figure seller or you're just doing this as a side hustle. They're things that anyone can implement to really up your game and make that money reselling on Poshmark and eBay. Before we share my 3 tips, I do want to share my numbers with you, kind of just check in for my 2020 numbers, how the month ended. I am going to do a pretty in-depth video. So if you really want to see a deep dive into a lot of these numbers and kind of my 2021 as a whole, make sure to hit that subscribe button and keep an eye out for those as well. But we're looking into my reselling numbers. This is going to be reselling only. I am a 6-figure reseller. So yes, I'm on social media. You guys are watching me on YouTube. I also have digital products. What we're looking at today is not going to account for that. If you're interested in my reselling business and how that's kind of split out between social media and my digital products, check out my How Much Money I Make playlist. I do a monthly video. I think I didn't do a December one. It gets really busy around the holidays with family. So I think there's one missing, but I do a monthly video breaking out my reseller business as a whole from a gross revenue, but then I also get all the way into my net income less taxes. So I take out my cost of goods, my shipping, my fees, my expenses, how much I set aside for taxes, and how much of this gross revenue actually makes it into my bank account. So that's on my How Much Money I Make playlist, but let's jump into my reselling only business. If you are looking at this for the first time, this is the Sarah Style Sales and Trends dashboard. This is a Google Sheet. Copy and paste your data into it, and you can have access to all of these stats as well. This is going to be, spoiler alert, one of my tips is looking at your numbers. I'll get really deep into it, but having access to this, even if you don't know how to do spreadsheets, is going to really help up your game. And so I've created these templates. All you have to do is type in your inventory. It's completely customizable, up to 25 platforms, and then you can have access to the data I'm showing you today, as well as many other graphs and charts. I will link that down below, as well as a coupon code. But here we're looking at we're just going to look at the year-to-date summary. You can see I am filming this on December 27th, so I'm still missing a few days in there. However, I've already hit over $100,000, so we can go ahead and film this video. So for 2021, this is going to go up a little bit, but over $109,000 sold on Poshmark and eBay. Those are the 2 platforms that I'm currently on. I've sold 3,154 items. Like I said, there's still a couple days so that'll go up just a little bit. On average, my items have sold this year for $34.61. I have 1,000. Y'all, I just put my kids to bed, so bear with me. It's a little late here, but 1,916 active listings. So I do have some items that are multiples. I currently have about, I think, 1,600 listings, and then actual items is closer to 1,900 because I did liquidation for a little bit, and that kind of plays out and gives me some multiples. So if you look at like my eBay, I think I have about 1,600 active listings on there. My average cost of goods is $8.66. If you are a thrifter, this may surprise you a little bit. So part of the reason that this is as high as it is, I did liquidation for the majority of the first half of 2021. Remember what happened 2020, right? We went into a pandemic, people couldn't source. I have 3 children that I was remote learning. So definitely 2021, I moved into liquidation. I kind of kept that into the beginning of 2021, still doing a lot of liquidation. I've slowly started moving more into thrifting as my kids are back in person school, as well as thrift stores are starting to open up, and we're all vaccinated and I'm feeling okay being out at thrift stores and stuff. So, well, that's a lie. My littlest isn't yet because he can't be, but I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable in doing. I definitely make a higher profit on thrifted. Not getting into that today, but make sure to subscribe. Check out some of my past videos. I do have data. This goes into, well, I'll show you guys so you can see it. This does go into your different sourcing spots. So I do know exactly which sourcing places yield me the biggest profit, what my sell-through rate is for all of them, and all of that. Lots of videos on that and more videos to come out about it. So make sure to subscribe. And then my sell-through rate. If you're new to the channel, new to reselling, Never really understood what this means. All sell-through rate means is how many items you've sold out of how many that you have for sale. So I have sold 62% of the inventory that I had for sale in 2021. So be mindful when you're looking at these numbers. 62% is a really large sell-through rate because I'm looking at a year's worth of data. If you're looking at a month, don't expect your month. I mean, I'd love to have a 62% sell-through rate. And if you guys do have a monthly 62% sell-through rate, let me know what you're selling. But be mindful of that, right? It depends on the time period you're looking at on what that sell-through rate is going to yield for you. So let's go ahead and jump into those 3 tips. And like I said, a little bit of a spoiler alert before, the first tip is data. And this is why I'm saying it, it's strategy. I have said time and time again, I'm not a great reseller. And don't, stop this video and be like, oh, she's not a great reseller. I hit over 6 figures in part-time hours without knowing all of the top brands, I don't do a lot of haul videos, and there's a reason for that because they're not really very impressive, honestly. It sells and I'm making money at it, but I don't know all these BOLO brands. I don't know the trends. I don't know all these collectibles. I don't know. There's a lot of great YouTubers out there that do know that. What I know is numbers and data and pure strategy. Knowing your numbers, knowing the data is going to allow you to spend less time doing things that are not working. And y'all, let me tell you this. There is 3 ways to make more money. It's as simple as that in reselling. 3 things that you can do to make more money. You either sell more items, which is your sell-through rate. You're selling more of what you have available. You sell higher price items. So what you're selling sells at a higher price. That's your average sale price. Or you have more items available. That's it. It's 3 variables. And this is where the golden formula for resellers come in. And I talk a lot about this. I have a lot of videos on this. I'm not going to go in depth into this in this video. This is a free download. You guys can link it down below. A free download on my website, and you can go in and maneuver these numbers, right? This golden formula for resellers, your sell-through rate times your active listings. That's how many items you've sold times how much they're selling for. That's it. That is your gross revenue. If you move one of those, if one of those increases and the others stay the same, your gross revenue is going to increase, right? Not to take you back to math class, but that's what an equal signs means. If one side of the equation increases, the other does as well. So all you have to do is pick one of those to increase. And I know it sounds, I'm oversimplifying this, but that's what I did. Honestly, I looked at my numbers, I looked at my data, and I figured out which one I wanted to increase. And I slowly, over the past couple years, really intensely this past year, I slowly worked on increasing those. I increased my active listings, but something you have to be mindful of, this is only going to work if one increases, the others have to stay the same. A problem that happens oftentimes is, hey, I'm going to list more items. If I have more items available, I'm going to sell more. And in theory, yes, but if you don't keep your average sale price and your sell-through rate the same, having more active listings, you're not actually going to make more money. I'm going to stop it there, and I will link a bunch of videos down below where I really go in depth. I have videos going into the golden formula for resellers. I do want to show you one other thing though, because this is really what I do, is using my dashboard and using the numbers. If you come into the simulator, the golden formula for resellers, like I said, this is what I did in my entire business. This simulator, this chart in the background, so you guys don't have to do the math, is the golden formula for resellers. I said, I want to make $10,000 a month. And I chose this number because I wanted to get to be a 6-figure seller. And I knew, obviously, $10,000 a month is more than a 6-figure seller. And I knew if I chose $10,000 and I had some bad month, I would probably still get to that 6-figure seller number. And plus $10,000 is an easy number, right? It's a flashy number too for YouTube videos. But so I put that in there, and then it comes down here and tells me this is exactly how many active listings I need, what my average sale price needs to be at, and how many items I need to list. And then I worked backwards. I knew exactly what I needed to do, where I needed to go, and I slowly worked backwards, making sure that all my numbers were consistent and steady, slowly improving things over time. That's enough about numbers and data. If you guys are new to the channel, this is what this channel is about, teaching you how have to make money reselling by understanding and knowing your numbers. So no matter what you sell and where you sell, you can make money reselling. The second strategy is going to be consistency. And if you guys have watched most YouTubers, any reseller is going to tell you this. But the thing is, sorry, thirsty. The thing is, building consistent habits. It's not just being consistent for a month. The way that you get to this point, the way that you make, if you guys follow Denali at El Ducho Thrifts, I saw a post that she made recently, I think it was in her stories maybe, but something to the extent of, if you want consistent sales, you have to put in consistent work. Not only does the algorithm, anywhere that you sell, social media, anything that has an algorithm, when you are consistent and it knows what to expect, it knows what to put forth for you. If one day you're selling one item and the next day you're selling something completely different, and you have, 500 sales in 1 month and then you quit for a month, it doesn't really know what to do with you. And depending on where you sell, eBay is my main boo. Depending on where you sell, they favor it also from a customer base. On eBay, they want to know that you are providing stellar customer service. They are the most known e-commerce, platform, reselling platform, and they want to provide that service. So the more consistent you are, not only in your listing and your sales, but in your customer service, providing quick shipping, providing consistent store, right? If you were more brick and mortar, you would consistently be open. If you're someone and you have a storefront and no one ever knows when you're open or what you're doing, you're not going to be making those sales. You have to treat it that way. Even if you are a side hustle and it means listing one item a day or listing every Sunday, whatever it is, consistency is key. I'm going to link a video down below because everyone says consistency is key. I'm going to tell you exactly. In the video down below, I go in depth into how I stay consistent. I am a mom of 3 children. I remote taught at the beginning of 2021. I have no time for reselling. I am far from a consistent lifestyle. I have listed every single day, including Christmas, every single day for 2 years. And the video down below, I'm going to tell you exactly how I do it. But find ways to build habits of consistency. And it's in everything that you do. Consistently listing is going to allow you to most of us don't have problems with consistently sourcing, but figure out where your consistency pitfalls are and find ways to make that consistent. Instead of listing 20 items every 3 weeks, just list one item every single day. Bank your drafts and just have an item every single day and slowly start to build. And once you get one item every day, then move that up to 2, right? Don't put, what is it? Don't put the cart before the wagon. Is that right? Let me know down below. But don't get ahead of yourself. Make sure that you can consistently do something and then increase it slightly. And then the third habit is going to be process improvement. There is only so many hours in the day. No matter what kind of reseller you are, from side hustle. Ooh, I love making those sales when I'm making YouTube videos. I just got an alert on my phone or on my watch. So no matter what kind of reseller you are, side hustle, part-time, full-time, a hobbyist, no matter what you are, you only have so many hours that you are willing to dedicate to this. And one of the best and easiest ways and free ways to make more money is to improve your processes. I spent a lot of time in 2020, beginning of 2021, improving my processes. I will link the playlist down below. My process playlist. I walk you through how I do shipping, I do have a virtual assistant, and this goes into some of my process improvements. Can I pay someone to do what I'm doing cheaper than it takes me to do it? If so, without sacrificing your business, right? So keep that in mind. Don't pay someone if they're not going to do a good job. But it is cheaper for me to outsource some of my tasks to a VA than it costs me to do it, right? So valuing your time. But I have my process playlist down below that walks you through exactly what I'm doing. I've got my shipping down to 2 minutes, under 2 minutes an item. I take photos, measurements, skew it, weigh it, and put it away under 2 minutes per items, which means that I can have enough items ready to send to my VA to list 12 items a day. I can do that in 2.5 hours. It allows me to work 20 hours a week when you can be quick with it. So definitely process improvement, figure out ways that you can. And guys, the last thing, I said I was only gonna share 3 tips, but this is just not necessarily a tip, but in everything that you do, take it slow. I think that is one of the biggest ways to really be successful is taking things slow, because what happens is if you ramp up so fast, it's hard to maintain that, and it's hard to keep it going, right? And that's why I said with the consistency in the banking, the banking has allowed me to take time off and not get burnout, because instead of constantly saying, okay, every single day I have to do this and I have to do this, I'm allowing myself to have time. I'm allowing myself to have some time off and be with my children by doing the banking. So taking it slow, and keep in mind that small, consistent improvements over time are going to yield you large results. You don't have to go from $2,000 a year to $100,000 a year. It's not going to work. It's not going to be sustainable. So make sure to small, consistent 30 seconds saved over the course of a year. That's hours of savings, right? So if you like this video, YouTube thinks you'd also like this video. I will link a video or playlist down here that will on how to make money reselling. And then make sure to subscribe. Thanks for bearing with me. Like I said, it is late here, so have a good night.